Welcome to Chasing Curiosity TV. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The Philippines is making headlines across Asia, not just for its stunning islands, but for its bold and strategic moves on the world stage. Once seen as a quiet player, the country is now stepping into the spotlight, drawing attention from global media and international observers alike. Manila's assertive diplomacy in the South China Sea, its rapidly booming tech sector, and a dynamic, globally connected youth are reshaping regional trends. Filipino students are excelling in technology and innovation, while local startups are attracting international investors, signaling a new era of economic promise. Joint naval exercises with the US and Japan, along with new trade deals with Europe and other partners, are clear signals of a nation stepping up to take a more active role in regional security and global commerce. These partnerships are not just symbolic, they're building real capabilities and trust. The old view of Southeast Asia as merely a US-China chessboard is now outdated. The region is evolving, and the Philippines is at the forefront of this transformation, asserting its own interests and vision for the future. The Philippines is proving that middle powers can change the game, using legal savvy in international courts, driving economic growth through innovation, and upholding a strong sense of sovereignty. Its leaders are showing that influence comes from more than just size, it's about determination and smart policy. Policymakers in Washington, Tokyo, and Brussels are taking notice, recalibrating their strategies to engage with a more assertive and independent Philippines. The country's actions are prompting new dialogues and alliances across continents. From Manila's ever-rising skyline to its vibrant community of digital creators, there's a palpable sense of national renewal and optimism. Young professionals and entrepreneurs are shaping a modern identity, blending tradition with innovation. The Philippines' approach is a new playbook for the 21st century. Leverage international law, build strong alliances, and invest deeply in its people. Education, legal expertise, and global cooperation are at the heart of its strategy. Influence isn't just about size or military might, it's about smart strategy, adaptability, and national confidence. The Philippines is showing that a clear vision and unity can amplify a nation's voice on the world stage. The Philippines is declaring its intent to define its own destiny, and the world is listening closely. As it charts a new course, the nation is inspiring others to rethink what's possible for emerging powers in the 21st century. Admiral Philip Davidson, the former commander of U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, told the U.S. Senate that Manila's choices will shape Asia's future in ways we're only beginning to understand. In fact, he argued that the Philippines' decisions may matter more than any other single factor in the next decade, influencing the balance of power across the entire Asia-Pacific region. This isn't hyperbole, it's a wake-up call for policymakers, analysts, and citizens alike. The world is entering a new era, and the Philippines is at the center of it. For years, the spotlight was fixed on China's rapid rise and America's strategic response. But now, the Philippines has emerged as the key middle power, a pivotal player whose actions could tip the scales. The choices facing Manila, whether to align more closely with Washington, remain neutral, or forge new coalitions, will send ripples across the region, affecting alliances, trade, and security. Recently, the Philippines has begun moving away from a policy of appeasing Beijing. Instead, it's adopting a strategy of principled balancing, standing up for its sovereignty in the South China Sea. Manila is strengthening its alliance with the United States while also deepening ties with Japan, Australia, and the European Union. These relationships are being built not just for military support, but for economic growth and technological cooperation. This diversification is about creating both security and economic buffers, ensuring the Philippines isn't overly dependent on any single partner. It's a calculated move to protect its interests in an unpredictable world. The world is watching closely. The Philippines' success or failure in navigating these challenges will set the blueprint for other nations caught in the intensifying US-China rivalry, especially in Southeast Asia. Davidson's message is clear. The United States and its allies must treat the Philippines as a genuine partner, not merely a strategic outpost or pawn in a larger game. The Philippines' leadership, experience, and insights are now essential for building a free and open Indo-Pacific, where smaller nations have a real voice in shaping the future. Ignore the Philippines at your peril. Their moves are already redrawing Asia's map, shifting alliances and challenging old assumptions about power in the region. The stakes have never been higher. What happens next in Manila could determine the fate of the entire Indo-Pacific for years to come. The Philippines' rise is rooted in three core strengths. First, its youthful, dynamic population, one of the youngest in Asia, fuels economic growth and innovation. Second, its economy is resilient, driven by strong domestic consumption, a thriving services sector, and surging foreign investment. The government's reforms are paying off, making the country a magnet for international capital. Third, its strategic location at the crossroads of major maritime trade routes makes it indispensable in the Indo-Pacific. Control or influence over the archipelago means influence over Asia's maritime heart. These pillars, youth, growth, and geography, put the Philippines in the global spotlight. Once underestimated, it's now a confident, capable power, redefining the Asian century. The world is finally seeing the Philippines for what it's becoming. In 2013, the Philippines challenged China's South China Sea claims, not with warships, but with international law. Lacking military might, Manila took its case to The Hague, launching a global information campaign under the mantra, "Right is might." Filipino diplomats reframed the dispute as a defense of the rules-based order, not just a territorial spat. The world listened, and in 2016, the tribunal ruled in the Philippines' favor, rejecting China's 9-dash line. Beijing dismissed the ruling, but the legal and moral victory was huge. The Philippines showed that power today is about building coalitions and shaping narratives, not just military strength. This playbook inspired other Southeast Asian nations to push back against coercion. The arbitral award remains a cornerstone of Philippine policy and a symbol of its resolve. The episode proved that transparency and justice can be more potent than fleets of destroyers. The Philippines changed the dynamics in the South China Sea, and the world took note. It's a lesson in how small nations can stand tall. President Marcos Jr. has fundamentally shifted the Philippines' foreign policy, steering away from Duterte's China-centric approach and moving toward a more nuanced strategy of balance and engagement. This marks a significant recalibration in Manila's diplomatic posture, reflecting both the changing regional landscape and the evolving aspirations of the Filipino people. The new doctrine revitalizes the long-standing U.S. alliance, breathing new life into military cooperation. Joint exercises have expanded in both scale and complexity, and the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, now grants American forces access to additional strategic bases across the archipelago. This not only strengthens deterrence but also signals Manila's commitment to collective security. But this isn't simply about choosing between Washington and Beijing. Instead, it's about maximizing the Philippines' strategic autonomy, ensuring that the country can make its own decisions, free from undue pressure or influence from any single power. The Philippines frames its recent moves as fundamentally defensive, aiming to deter coercion and safeguard its sovereignty, all while carefully avoiding actions that could provoke open conflict in the region. Beyond the U.S., Manila is actively deepening its partnerships with other key players like Japan, Australia, and the European Union. New defense and trade pacts are being signed, broadening the country's network of friends and allies. This multi-vector approach is designed to avoid dependency on any one nation. By diversifying its relationships, the Philippines ensures it isn't forced into unwanted choices or left vulnerable to external pressure. The shift reflects a growing consensus among Filipino leaders and citizens alike. True prosperity and security come from embracing a rules-based international order and building broad, inclusive partnerships across the globe. Manila is now forging its own path, skillfully balancing great power relations while asserting its agency and protecting its national interests. This is a new era of diplomatic confidence for the Philippines. This confident, independent policy is why the Philippines is increasingly seen as a rising Asian leader, capable of shaping regional dynamics and contributing to global conversations. The Marcos Jr. doctrine is ultimately about resilience, flexibility, and putting the national interest first. It's a strategy built to withstand uncertainty and adapt to a rapidly changing world. It's a clear rejection of zero-sum thinking, embracing cooperation over confrontation and opportunity over limitation. The Philippines is no longer content to be a pawn in the games of larger powers. It's stepping up as a player, charting its own course on the world stage. The world is watching closely, eager to see what the Philippines will do next as it redefines its role in the region and beyond. Once called the sick man of Asia, the Philippines is now a regional economic engine. Its young, English-speaking population drives a massive consumer market and a deep talent pool. Remittances from overseas Filipinos fuel domestic consumption and provide economic stability. The tech and digital services boom is moving the country up the value chain, from call centers to software, fintech, and animation. Manila and Cebu's startup scenes are thriving, creating high-quality jobs and global innovation. Foreign investment is pouring in, thanks to reforms and new laws allowing greater foreign ownership. This virtuous cycle, youth, innovation, investment, gives the government confidence to pursue assertive foreign policy. Economic success and geopolitical influence now go hand in hand. The Philippines is negotiating from a position of strength. Singapore has long been Southeast Asia's hub, but the Philippines is emerging as a vibrant alternative. Its large, creative, and digitally fluent population is building a unique ecosystem for culture and tech. Filipino artists, filmmakers, and musicians are gaining global acclaim while Manila's creative scene buzzes with energy. The country's blend of Eastern, Western, and indigenous influences creates a distinct cultural output. In tech, the Philippines is a leader in fintech and the creator economy, with a highly engaged digital population. This bottom-up, people-powered growth is attracting attention and investment. As costs rise in Singapore, the Philippines offers a high-growth, affordable alternative. Its journey as a regional hub is just beginning, but its trajectory is clear. The Philippines is setting new trends for Southeast Asia. The Philippines is taking principled stands on global issues, from condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine to championing climate justice. Its support for Ukraine is rooted in its own experience defending sovereignty in the South China Sea. By upholding international law, the Philippines reinforces the principles that protect its own interests. On climate, it's a vocal advocate for vulnerable nations, pushing for ambitious action and greater support. This moral leadership enhances its global standing and builds trust with partners. The Philippines is more than a strategic asset, it's a responsible global citizen. Its blend of pragmatism and principle is earning respect worldwide. The country is proving that leadership is about values as much as strategy. The Philippines' resurgence offers key lessons for the world. First, transparency and international law empower smaller nations to stand up to superpowers. Second, wise, diversified alliances are a shield against over-reliance and vulnerability. The US and others should treat alliances as relationships, not transactions. Third, the nation's greatest asset is its young, educated, and connected population. Investing in people is the foundation of true national strength. The Philippines proves that destiny isn't set by size or history, but by smart strategy and courage. Middle powers can shape their futures, and the world's. The Philippines is writing a new chapter of hope, agency, and limitless potential. The world should watch, listen, and learn. And